This is episode 118 of the Gold Squadron podcast. I'm your host, Dion Morales, back from vacation. I'm feeling good. And today, I'm joined by Marcel. I like to argue with Scum and Villainy Manzano.
Oh, me and Tyler got to fight.
That's right. And William, I tried really hard to keep the boat afloat, Hagewood.
It didn't sink completely. Took on some water, though.
Well, I know there's a couple people wondering, like, Dion, what'd you do? Where'd you go? Like, you know, I did the smart thing, and I didn't, like, post on social media everything I was doing, all that stuff. But it basically, I went to California. We had the Gold Squadron Flight Club with the My Knots, right? With the Fly Better crew, and also went to Disneyland for a couple days. Got to go to Galaxy's Edge. We'll talk more about that in the future, but yeah, I'm feeling good. I've been back since last Wednesday. So they had the podcast. I came back on Wednesday, and I've had basically since Wednesday till now to just I'm getting things ready for August. So much stuff coming. We're going to start talking about it in a little bit. Today, we're continuing our faction breakdowns, going to be covering the Resistance. Now, before we go too far, I want to talk about our Patreon rewards. Yes, patrons, it's time to talk about Q3, quarter three. So, in quarter three, I did a little tease on Patreon of the picture overlay cards that we're creating. The actual art for that, the pilots for that, are still to be announced. But I wanted to show you because we're continuing the Ink series, and in this set, we're actually going to be putting out 3 pilots in the Ink series. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let me make sure I press the right button. There they are. So we're going to be releasing Forlom for Scum, Darth Vader for Empire, and Sabine Wren for the Rebellion and the Empire. Now, excuse me, not the Empire. Wrong one. Rebellion and Scum. Now, the question is that we have to determine, or maybe we got to make a vote, is which ship do we want to do, right? She's like in 6.
Well, she's only in 2.
I'm exaggerating, right?
No, is she in the TIE Fighter?
Isn't she?
Man. Oh, I have no idea.
I feel like my brain says yes.
Is. All right. Well, that there's a clear indication that probably should not put the TIE Fighter. I will say, the art looks pretty sharp with its helmet on. Dion, you know what I'm talking about.
I know. Maybe I'll send the commanders, like the top level patrons, like a special insert card, like this is what it could have been. It was. Sabine got reworked a couple of times. We'll just put it that way. So hopefully you guys like that. Yeah, I'm super like them. Some people did catch in one of the releases of This Week in X-Wing that I did put the Vader art behind me. In the This Week in X-Wing studio, and it was on the wall, but it was only 2 people. Only 2 people like, is that gonna be? I was like, I don't know. So yeah, there it is. The Vader is probably one of my favorites out of this set. It's just super. Oh, it looks so good. It's right there. Oh, looks so good. Anyway, there's that. So we got Vader, we got Sabine, Forlom. I think that's it. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else there. So yeah, Q3. If you're missing your Q2, make sure to get in contact with me. I literally send, like, it's almost 800 envelopes worth of stuff in Q2, and things are bound to get lost with the amount of, like, boxes I hand into the post office with letters. And there's human error in there. So if you haven't received something, make sure you let me know ASAP. But I'm feeling good. Team USA updates. I don't know if you have anything, Marcel, but I am going to talk about the shirts. The shirts, I have word. I will have them in hand next Wednesday is when they will be at my home. That should give me a couple of days after Gen Con, because basically I'll have it in my hands, I think, in the morning before I leave for Gen Con, and then I got to go to Gen Con. When I get back, I'll get those packed up, shipped out to anybody who has them. Yeah. You got anything for Team USA, Marcel?
Yeah, I think just the only thing is the shipping of the shirts also will include the GoFundMe ones.
Yes.
Except the ones that are going to be signed by the team, and those will get shipped after we get back from Poland,
Correct.
and they'll be shipped along with everything else that was going to go with them, and we're practicing. Actually, we're not practicing. We're actually really behind. So we've got to get our list together. So just giving a quick update. So the quick update is lists are due in exactly 8 days. July 31st is all the lists are due. Then from there, all the lists will be available as of August 2nd, actually. As of August 2nd, all lists for all 20 teams, all 20 countries will be available. And then at that point, Dion, I was going to talk to you. We haven't mentioned it, but I was thinking of doing kind of a ranking episode between Gen Con and NXCC. Maybe we can do a kind of a ranking of how we think people are going to do in matchups based on the list, because all of that will already be available.
Yeah.
So anyway, do kind of a power rankings type of scenario, and yeah, just kind of have a full episode about all the lists that the different countries made up. We've got I think right now, from just the name recognition point of it, the side of it, I'm sure that everybody in their own country has high name recognition, but just the names that are popular here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I think Netherlands is probably the one that's going to give us, at least not give us, but it's the one that has the most name recognition with fa la 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 and
Fan Long Along. That's my man. He's
they're
awesome.
cheating though. Netherlands are cheating. They're
they
taking
cheating?
Tom Reed. They're taking Tom Reed. Tom Reed
What?
Yeah, he don't belong in Netherlands, but
No.
he's being a mercenary for the Netherlands. So
I veto.
So yeah, they've got Tom Reed, but they've got a couple high profile names, and and of course the Polish team with the UK national champ. Is it UK? Yeah, I think he won the UK national champ. Bartos leading the way over there. But yeah, so I was hoping to do that the week before XTC, just do a quick power ranking and explain in a little bit more detail how the pairings will work, and then the following week you'll be streaming that. So yeah, it's exciting times.
Oh man.
We still don't have our lists 100% secured, but we're about 90% of the way there.
About 90%. All right.
Yep.
USA. All right, we're good. We're a worldwide podcast, so we'll stop. That's all we'll do. All right, let's jump into it. Resistance breakdown. All right, so the Resistance. In my way too early rankings, I think I put them at the top. I think, listen, it was my way too early rankings. It was the way too early rankings. That's how it works, okay?
Well, I think you're right if you're in hyperspace.
Maybe. So we'll see. You know, I want to hash this out. You know, I've been thinking about them a little bit. Got to play a little bit of the new Wave 4 stuff. I will say that they're dropping a little bit in my overall rankings from what I'm seeing, but let's just start off by going through some of the ships that we have in the Resistance. So let me go ahead and pull them up. Let's do how we do. That's a nice cup of water you got there, Marcel.
Yeah, I'm trying, because people always ask what it is today. Today is Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA, India Pale Ale.
All right, Will, let's go ahead and start breaking down these ships. Let's talk about the Star Fortresses.
All right. Well, Star Fortress is the Resistance's only bomb-carrying ship currently, and it has 3 arcs, which I think is the most of any primary weapon right now. But it's a little slow, and I don't know if we've even really seen anything from the Star Fortress outside of like the I always have a try to say it, invincible build.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and the so my hot take on him right now is that veteran turret gunner went up as well, which is really, for a little bit there, that was like what I thought brought the Star Fortress back, being able to attack twice. And I don't know. Should we talk about any other notable pilots other than Vinny?
I mean,
In the Star Fortress?
in the Star Fortress, yeah.
I mean, I love Finch.
Right, like
but-
Finch.
I
Finch
think
is
you
the
got to go with Finch, yeah.
Finch is the best for bombs.
Yeah, so wait,
But-
you got the builder up. Yeah, I like Finch, veteran turret gunner.
Actually, Eden's pretty good, too. I think
Oh.
Eden is Edon, or whatever you call him, Capel.
Yeah.
He's just amazing with proximity mines.
It's not that good. It
Oh,
really
it
no.
is
I've tested it. No, I've tested it. The like in head sim, yes, but these things are so hard, so easy to block.
I think it sounds like pilot error to me.
Hey, sir, listen.
Hey, sir.
Eden gets blocked. Look at Ryan Staniszewski in the chat agrees with me. He gets blocked. It's not that
Yeah.
easy. It sounds pretty, but it's not that easy. So
Yeah,
I don't think Eden is good. I don't think so.
Yeah, if you could do it on red maneuvers, for some reason they restrict it to blue and white. That after you do that, you can drop a bomb, or not a bomb, specifically a device.
Right.
So I guess it could be a bomb. I just want to talk about this Finch Dalo build.
Yeah.
Veteran turret gunner, Page Tico, both kinds of bombs, seismics and protons, and trajectory. I don't know if there's anything else this build needs. No, just that you can. So Finch can launch a seismic and then shoot his 3 dice primary. After he does that, he activates Page so he could drop another bomb, probably a proton at that point. And then veteran turret gunner is primary, and then drop a third bomb. And then at this next system phase, he could drop his 4th bomb and roll out of there. And there'll just be 3 bombs all around Finch. Like, that's a way to get munitions off, or at least bombs anyways. But it's 97 points, though, just to do that silly thing. I mean, you do shoot twice. Is there a way to, like, what is an affordable in Star Fortress?
I mean, you're floating in the 88 plus almost no matter what you build for these guys. It's always pretty thick.
I guess my biggest question is, do you need to bring trajectory on these things? Is that required?
I think it is right now. In hyperspace, it definitely is because of the amount of swarms that are happening with both the V19s and the CIS swarms. You got to have it.
You got to be able to threaten.
Yeah, you've got to be able to keep people. I mean, you've got to be able to keep them from just conglomerating right there in the front and jousting you.
So it's 10 points for I guess 10 points plus the bomb that you bring.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, if you're flying a 70 point, 70 point 1 agility thing, you need to have something to deter your biggest threat, which is those swarms. So it's I think those 10 points are well worth it in that case. Oh, 100 points is making my heart bleed. Okay.
So I got one thing to say about the Star Fortress, and all right. So this is the idea I have. I'm going to take Lieutenant Bistan in a T-70. Or right, no, it has to be sorry, not Lieutenant Bistan. It doesn't make any sense. The new Resistance transport. I know. I mean, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but
Okay, go for it.
it's to get it only works on Star Fortresses. Anyways, you get angled deflectors, and who's the person that changes things? Holdo?
Yes. Are you adding angle deflectors onto? Oh, okay. I see. I see what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. So, so just say it cost. Actually, I think you could do it with a pod, but that sounds really risky. I guess. But yeah. So in you use Holdo to get the bomber a reinforce because they don't have one. I don't understand why they don't have reinforce. Is it because they blew up in the movies?
Correct. Thematic.
I'm just saying, it would be really nice if they could reinforce. Other than that, I got nothing else to say about Star Fortress. It sounds like trajectory or go nuts and have fun.
Yeah. I guess you could also put Holdo on Finch, and then you have other things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It works
Oh, yeah,
both
I guess
ways.
they do have a crew slot. Huh. So then you could do it with Lieutenant Bastion then. Or Jess Paba. Really any T-70 that would like to fly next to this thing.
That's some grade A level shenanigans. Just like all this points just to get reinforced. It's hilarious.
No, you take Lieutenant Bastion and get him giant in 9G8 and give him angle deflectors. So they target locks the bomber, giving it rerolls and trading its focus for, or I guess giving it stress. I don't know. Is that good?
That sounds that sounds really bad.
Okay. All right. I was just making sure.
It sounds fun. It sounds fun. I mean, maybe it's not actually really bad, but it sounds like it's one of those where you have so many parts in a combo, like too many pieces, and you lose one, and let's just say it.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my new take on Invincible. Give him reinforced too. Why not?
Why not? Yes, please. Hilarious. So, anything else worthwhile there, Will, on the Star Fortress?
No. I wish it was better, but we'll just resort to trajectory.
Alrighty. Marcel, we're going to pass to you here. What about the RZ-2 A-Wing? What's going on with that ship?
They're garbage. Yeah, so talking about the transport.
Why? No. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? Stop lying.
Yeah, I think they're still really good ships. I think I'm curious to see how this points change is gonna affect. We mentioned Bartos a little bit ago and winning the UK Nationals. He actually did it with a five A-wing list, but the old version of the 5 A-wing list. So you've got some stuff here, and you're at 280 points there, buddy.
I know. I'm just showing all the pilots.
Gotcha. And yeah, I mean, I think the blocker, the blue squadron is still pretty solid. You can get heroic or crack shot on them. You've got a ship that has 3 agility, can zoom in and out of places and basically be a great blocker. Always have shots on target. And if you put advanced targeting computer, is that what it's called?
Optics.
Or advanced optics, yeah. At 37, then you're always going to be guaranteed at least a hit. So that's a really solid, just generic ship for what it does, and it's always going to have arc. It's always going to be. Threatening to shoot something, and then Zari.
Now hold on. I want to make a point of something you just did.
Sure.
Is the green not worth taking?
I don't think it's as good as the blue, because the blue is there to guarantee that you have an action and you're threatening a zone. Like you're saying, if you're going to be I'm either going to block you or you're going to be in this zone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there as a support ship to basically cattle everything into somewhere where you want them, into a kill box. So it's there as a deterrent. It's there to guarantee that you're going to get some actions.
Right. So the initiative 1 of the blue is more important than the initiative 3 of the green.
Oh, by far,
Overall.
I think so. I wouldn't say. I mean, yeah. At least I think so. I mean, and it's nice to have 2 EPTs, but at the end, I mean, you maybe don't even need any at all, and just a naked 33-point blue might be enough. And if you can, there's a lot of things going on with Rey that you can do with all of the crew, which I'm sure we'll get to, the gunners and the crew.
Yeah.
But one of the things that you can do in the force upgrades is putting the sense in, and the sense is mainly there to make sure that the higher initiative ships, or the more potent ships that are going to put out the most damage, have a shot and are not being flanked by something that either beats you on initiative or outbid you in the total initiative, or is higher initiative than you. So the A-Wings actually serve a really good role of being able to double reposition and basically get in the blocking situation.
Cool.
So I mean, last week when Tyler was here, he was going lala about how great the TIE Fighters are at blocking for Vader with sense, and here you have the A-Wings, who are a million times better at blocking, and Rey, who is much more. She needs blocking a lot more than Vader does, because she's moving at initiative 5 and she's a big base, and she's got to get her wide self.
All right, but let's stick to the A-Wings. Let's who's next?
Well, yeah,
on the
I'm
list
just
here?
saying the A-Wings they're blockers. They're blockers and they're disruptors. And then I think out of all of them, the one that gets probably overlooked the most, Zari, she's okay, but he or she is okay. But I think Greer is the one that gets most overlooked, because that's the one that can end up with 3 actions. And also while you're stressed, just the ability to be stressed or not stress yourself and still get turned that arc. So I think Greer is actually Greer with...
Now, real quick, for anybody who doesn't know, Greer's ability is after you fully execute a maneuver, you may rotate your turret arc, and it's not a rotate action, it's just rotated. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, just rotate it. So it doesn't matter you fly through a rock, doesn't matter you're stressed, doesn't matter anything. As long as you complete the maneuver, you can rotate it. So that paired with advanced optics, I think, is one of the best 40-point ships out there. So I think that ship gets overlooked a little bit. Most people end up going for the initiative 5 with Tally and Lulo. Cost more for Lulo and Tally. Basically, with Tally, you're just going for the initiative because her ability hardly ever procs. But anyway, I'm a big fan of Greer. I think Greer is better than Tally if you're choosing between the two.
Cool. And I mean, I think FFG maybe they had some insight there and understood that when they priced them to the same, but they lowered the initiative on Greer, because higher initiative with that ability would be really good. Could you imagine if Greer was like a 6?
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, the strength of these A-Wings is probably their time on target, right?
Yeah, it's their time on target and their action economy. I mean, that's got to be it. Because when they stress themselves, they got so many blues and they've got so many ways to end up double modded again, and with the not double modded, but they're still going to be modded with their arc on target. So, and they're really hard to kill with the 3 agility.
And then the last one here is Lulo, right? The A-wing who sometimes likes to be an X-wing.
Yeah, and Lulo is I think Lulo is a trap.
Yeah.
It's a total trap. Yeah, I mean Lulo is really good. 43 points, initiative 5. You put heroic on there. Really needs heroic, especially with that defensive. Rolling 2 dice defensively every once in a while. So heroic triggers more offensively and defensively. So yeah, I think Lulo at 44 points just is really good for the same reason, time on target, and also you have the ability to choose whether you're going to be defensive or offensive. And if you can get in at range 1 with 4 dice, you've got a ship that can basically get 4 dice attacks consistently against things that it's out initiated. What's the word? Out initiating.
Has a higher initiative then. I know what you mean. I got you, fam.
Yeah, so Lulo is just a steal, and I think they bump her up like 5 points or something like that.
It was a significant number.
Yeah, and it was rightfully so, because at 30 whatever it was, or at 40 whatever it was, it was way too cheap. And even at 43, I mean, if you think about it, at 44 points with heroic, you're not really going to kill Lulo in 1 or 2 turns, even if you get her in a bad spot, and can just really put some damage in. If you don't kill it when you have it, it's going to run around and just threaten you the rest of the game. It's probably one of the better ships out there. For I mean, as far as cost per, what's the word? How would you say it?
That's efficiency, right?
Yeah.
Cost efficient. So the next one on our list is the Resistance Transport. I've been playing with these quite a bit. Honestly, a really interesting ship. I think part of the most fun thing about it is that dial that it has. On initial look, it looks really bad, but with the upgrades you have available with it, you can do. You can't go fast, but you can end up at a lot of different angles. Has those 2 reverse maneuvers. Honestly, the standout pilot for me in this group of Resistance Transports is Kova Nell, for a very similar reason that Lulo stood out, right? Like, it had an ability where if you made good choices and if you flew a certain way, you could have extra attack. But the thing is for Kova is that she doesn't have a downside aside from doing a red maneuver, revealing a red maneuver, which is different than executing, by the way. Being able to get that additional die when you reveal a red maneuver, it's pretty awesome. The other ones I've looked at a little bit, but they just seems like a really solid what's the word I'm looking for? Support ship for the other 3 pilots. Your logistics division pilot, Nodin, and Paymich. But Kova can be an offensive threat if you're not watching out. And it, of course, has those double crew slots at a lower cost in order to carry some important crew around if you're trying to do some shenanigans in your squad. I'm looking at you, Leia. All right. Honestly, Leia on Kova Nell is like my go-to right now. And, if I have the space, I'll go ahead and throw that R4 astromech on there to make them even better. Do you guys have any other points here on the transport before we move on to the pod?
The transport as a whole?
Yeah, I haven't had some field time with it, but I have been looking at an interesting build. It's just a logistics division pilot, because I think that's because you don't really get much pilot skill if you're not running Kova now. You don't get much pilot skill for increasing it. But the basic one is 32 points. And honestly, just a BB-8 astromech is only 1 point on them. And because they only have 2 attack dice, just throw them an ion cannon. That's only 38 points for 3 attack dice and 8 health.
I don't know. That sounds a lot like the gunboats. It does. It's what one health difference and 1 point difference for the gunboat. You know, I actually think this is probably the best ship. I mean, I think out of the whole release, like between this, the Naboo fighter, and everything else, the bomber. This is actually the one that's going to end up making the biggest splash. I think, especially in hyperspace. All of the ships are good. All of the abilities are good, and all of the crew that came with it, like the synergies between them, playing off of the stress, being able to take, basically loading them up with 2-3 stress, and then being able to take that off when you put an R4 on. I'm talking about like what is it called? Chidri. Yeah, I think this thing's just going to make a lot of noise, and I actually don't see a whole lot of reason to pick up the logistics division pilot whatsoever, because the pilot abilities on Noden, Pamich, and Kova are just so strong. I mean, they've just got really strong abilities with being able to consistently maintain actions and not worry about stress and all of that, all of those things combined. I mean, they're just really good. And I think you mentioned Kova or did you Kova with?
I did.
With Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yep.
Yeah, so just always basically turning that into a basically turns it into a U-wing that can, if you think about it, initiative 4 U-wing, because it's got 8 health and 3 attack, 2 agility, just with a better dial.
And the build here that people are calling out in the chat is Noden with Corsella and R4 Astromech. So Noden's ability says, after you coordinate or are coordinated, if you have 2 or less stress tokens, 2 or fewer stress tokens, you may perform one action on your action bar as a red action, even if you are stressed. So you have the ability, assuming you're unstressed, right? You can do a coordinate action to a buddy and then give yourself a focus or even do a jam. And then you could end up the next turn doing a blue maneuver and then use Corsella to remove all of your stress tokens.
Yeah, I think
it's a super support ship.
Yeah, what it's missing is DAC or DAC or whatever you call it, Larma DAC, because at that point you can stop or reverse, take your first stress, then coordinate, take your second stress, then give yourself focus, take your third action. Or even you can, or even if you can jam and take a third red action for a stress, end up with 3 stress, and still be able to clear that all in one maneuver with, especially with the R4. And also, even if you don't triple stress yourself, you can double stress yourself, and with R4 be able to do like a hard 1 and still be able to do like a coordinate or an action. So for an additional 4 points, Daisy on that list is I think important. And what makes it, if you have the points, if you can throw an ion cannon on there to make sure that it's always rolling 3 dice out of the front, and just threatening with the potential of ions. Yeah, at 53 points, I think that's probably one of the best butts for your money that you're gonna get.
Cool.
You can even put angle deflectors on there, huh? Instead of the ion.
Yeah, you almost want to do that because you can trigger that with Larma. Larma says reinforce, coordinate, or jam actions while stressed.
Yeah.
So you might as well.
Yeah, instead of the cannon, just make sure that your machine is standing. I mean, how important is it to keep like an AP5 or a blue, like a U-wing how important is it to keep it alive? It's extremely important. So if you got 50 points into a coordinating ship that's basically just a pure support ship, yeah, I think that makes sense.
Actually, really, I don't think you need angel deflectors. I think you should be focusing on jamming people.
Jam.
It's already red, so it's not like you're getting more penalized for doing it. So it's get up in there. So you give a friend an action, and you take the enemy's action away.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that ship is evil.
All right, let's take a look at the pod. The resistance pod. We'll go ahead and bust out all the pilots here. All right, so we got 4 of them. Will, thoughts on the pods?
Generally, they seem to be able to modify. They have like great action economy, and they can modify dice really well. They just are terrible at moving around the board. Joey, can you see the dial? Yeah, look at that. Look at that dial. I mean, it's okay, but eventually you're gonna have to do something more than hard 2. But Finn, I think, is probably the standout, like as far as like being able to modify his dice. Putting heroic and perceptive co-pilot on him is 38 points, but you could do a lot with that because he's adding blank results. You could reroll him with heroic. You can add focus results. You got multiple focuses. And apparently, Tyler said last week that using his add a focus on defense, it doesn't come in a penalty, which is, the ruling's still out on that, but he made a strong, convincing argument that the strain token goes away immediately. So, like, that's crazy. He's basically a 3 agility ship if you have a perceptive co-pilot on him. And I don't know, he's not putting out a lot. He's not, his offense is pretty inconsistent. There's no A-wing, that's for sure.
I'm curious about that.
About the strain?
The strain token timing.
Read exactly what a strain token does, and you remove it after defending.
After defending, you're right. While
which
defending,
is after the modified dice step.
Yep. Wrecked FFG.
Well, not only that,
it's to penalize him for trying to get better offense is really what it's doing. But yeah, that's pretty good. It's very tanky. But you have to be out there taking focuses though, which is really slows him down.
Yeah, don't sleep on Maradi. I think once people figure out, because how I was talking about using sense on to get all that. Maradi does that at 0 to 3, and not only that, like
you're talking about compromising intel.
I am talking about compromising intel as native ability, like basically having intel agent at range 0 to 3, and then the ship that your intel agent is on can't modify dice against you. Basically,
that can't spend focus tokens.
I mean, basically, yeah. Like that's very. I mean, I think that's for 27 points. I think that's probably the one that once people figure it out is one of the ones that can.
Marcel, would you put informant on him as well?
I don't think it's necessary, but
I know everything.
Imagine a 2-ship list. Like,
it
fly with their dials up.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's already got a big enough target. Just being itself, it already has a big enough target on its back. But yeah, I mean, I think that's solid. It's, we were talking about, like if one of those lists, like Han, Jake show up again, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put that on Han, and Han, can't do focuses on me, and it's gonna try to chase him because you're always gonna know where it's at, block its escapes and all that. Yeah, and anyway, just in general, I think that ship is
you can fit 5 heroic blue squadrons with it.
Okay. But anyway, I think that ship is really good. And actually, I had one question, just clarification, because that's the way I read it. But I want to make sure you guys are reading it the same way with Roast Ego, where it says, while you defend or perform an attack, you may reroll up to one of your results for each other friendly ship in the attack arc. Since they're not saying your attack arc, they're saying in whatever ship is doing the attacking, right? So if you're attacking, it's whatever friendly ships are in your attack arc that you can reroll. But if the enemy is attacking, it's whatever friendly ships the enemy. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to read.
Yeah, so imagine somebody shooting a bullseye at you, even though you're in the back of like a A-wing squad. Like, because it's only the bullseye arc, she wouldn't get rerolling, or she would only be able to reroll for each ship in that bullseye arc.
Okay, sure. That's gonna happen like once and never.
Wow, sure.
But yeah, I think that's a pretty good ability. I think that's you just basically have it flying around, jamming things, and getting rerolls for. You don't have to stress to reroll yourself. To reroll like Lando. Lando does that I think Lando's the same cost, right? The Escape Craft Lando, 26.
No, that's the cost of L3. But these can't coordinate; they can only jam.
Yep,
I know, but I just meant like that ability.
Oh yeah, that's true. And he has to be stressed to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking. So V Morani doesn't have heroic for probably good reason, or it doesn't have a talent slot for heroic.
right.
But other than heroic, which if they got 2 agility, so might as well. Is there any other like go-to upgrade for these things?
I mean, C3PO gives it coordinate, doesn't it? Isn't that right?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that C3PO is 6 points. I think that's you leave it right there. C3PO, you got a cheap coordinate boat out there for the Resistance.
Yeah, it gets rerolls.
Yeah, you could even put it on BB-8. I actually like it better on BB-8.
Yeah.
You get some shenanigans where's my coordinate gonna go?
With prime thrusters as well.
Well, yeah, you need something to be able to do that while stressed, because since it's a
True.
That's a pretty squirrely support ship out there then.
Actually, I like BB-8 with informant talking about, because
you could just spend 1 more point for Viverani though.
True. No, but I mean, at system base, he can reposition in order to guarantee that block.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah. At system phase, you see where they're going, and then you reposition and you put yourself where you're going to be, in order to guarantee that block.
Interesting.
But it is 31 points. That's not bad.
Yeah, but it is only a small base ship, so you gotta. And basically, you have.
So is an A-wing. We were talking about a 33-point A-wing being
true,
a good
but an
blocker.
A-wing can barrel roll or boost.
And so can BB-8. It can.
True, I guess you're right. BB-8 can.
He just needs afterburners. That's what he needs. barrel before your 3 bank, and then boost afterwards.
Ridiculous. Alrighty, let's keep going here. Yeah, pods look, they seem interesting. I think
they're cheap.
They're cheap, and I'm excited to play with them. I'm actually really excited for League Night tomorrow. I'm gonna be playing some.
I got a reserve spot, right?
Yeah, you got a reserve spot.
Well, that doesn't sound exciting. You got to sound more excited.
Yeah, you have a reserve spot.
Yeah.
Is that better? Was that better?
A little bit better.
All right, let's go ahead and hit the YT 1300s. 1300. We got 4 pilots. Marcel, tell me what's going on with these things.
You're the YT 1300s?
Yeah.
They're bad. That's the first thing that's going on with them. Han Solo's got initiative, so the initiative's good, I guess. Having an initiative 6 ship at 71 points is not the worst cost. I mean, if you look at what's his name, Fen Rao at 68, it's not that bad, but ultimately, like, I think they really struggle when that two extra shields that the rebels have. I think it makes a huge difference. Now you do have Rey. I think people with the new cards that are around, Leia, specifically Leia, but also some of the other ones that that give it kind of the ability to take actions, rotate arc, and boost and do things like that while stressed, and then be able to clear everything afterwards with one blue maneuver completed.
Yep.
Even though that one's, again, you're talking about Vinny being, or Finch, one of them, Eden, being able to get blocked. Rey can get blocked pretty easily too, because it's a large base movement at 5. And with that card, you have to complete the maneuver in order to clear all the stress. Has force, so I think a lot of people are going to give Rey a shot, and then I think a lot of people are also going to figure out, like, oh my god, I'm running into a sinker swarm, and Rey's not all that good.
Yeah, I think if right now, because there are swarm things that are good, Rey's gonna suffer. I think if the ship count came down a little bit to like 4 to 4 to 3.5, if let's say that was a sweet spot, I think Rey would see a lot more of her. Honestly, I think with just Leia, she's really good. Leave Leia on there. If you have the space, you throw on the title. But I think just Leia getting to that third force point, I think makes a huge difference. And then when those blocks do happen, you have extra modifications. You can, of course, clear the stress and be able to make that decision before you actually move. You get to see it out there.
Yeah. I kind of agree, but still, that's just with Leia alone is 92 points. And I don't know, it's hard to argue that 92 points on Rey are better than 92 points on any other large base ship.
Well, right. I mean, we're right now though. I'm looking at specifically in the Resistance. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay, or specifically in the Resistance, you can't. It's hard to argue that 92 points are not better spent on Poe, Nien or somewhere else where it's going to do more damage, and it's not going to be as easy to track down by what's popular right now.
Now, here, I have a question here. So, when I was messing around with Rey a little bit, honestly, I know her ability is good, but I wonder if Rey with just Leia, if you're going with just the Leia route, if you even worry about her ability. Really what you brought her for was for the Force. And you fly her more like a first edition Fat Han, boosting around and using the Force to modify. What do you guys think? You keep that arc in the side. She's more skirting the edges rather than jousting in people's faces. Because I think that's her weakness right now. She's not good in a joust.
That's true. You can still fit like a Poe and an A-wing with her, or we're talking about like multiple A-wings as well with her at that price point. So that's not bad.
Yeah,
I can see that in like 3 A-wings.
Just an idea, right? Like there's sometimes I like to look at the ships outside of what is the obvious. Like obvious, her ability says, "Hey, go in the front arc," but just Initiative 5, 3 dice skirting turret with always focus, having focus always on. Seems good. But the points is obviously, like we talked about, is
it's expensive, and I think it goes back to like what's popular and what's dominating right now, and what's popular and dominating right now are things that I think give Rey, even that version of Rey, a little bit too hard of a time.
All right, let's go on to what I believe is the best chassis that the Resistance has right now, and that is the T-70. T-70. Will, what's happening with these T-70s right now?
Turns out they're better than people think. I think they recently went down in price. I think they did the last update. Double checking here. Yeah. Well, the main thing is that the Red Squadron veterans, or no, they're experts, are actually good because heroic. You can get heroic on them. They're which is really good if you're just flying around taking focuses for your 2 agility and 3 attack power. It's basically what Lulu is, like as far as like price and whatnot, and like attack power. But instead of 4 health, you have 7. And the fact that you can run 4 of them, I'm pretty sure you could still run 4 and just, can't you?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
you can, it got cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
It got cheaper to do that.
Oh yeah, which means you get a 5-point droid for Jess. Wow, that has 2 charges. So I guess it's BB. A generic BB is 2 points. So I don't know. Throw a tractor beam too. That'll be fun. That'll get it done. But yeah, there's. It's just like with the overall lack of firepower and the T-70s, 2 agility, you got heroic. I just think you got to be able to reroll either just power or some sort of heroic, and then basically. The fact that the S foils are inverted, right? Yeah, it's boost. They always have boost, and they can close their wings to barrel roll. But when you do that, if you're still shooting in the bullseye, or you're shooting some other type of weapon, torpedo, cannon of any type, because they got that hard point upgrade, your reduced attack power doesn't mean anything then, because it's just your primary weapon. But outside of running like 4 of them or 3 in an A-wing, which I think is pretty good as well. Throw like a Zari or what's the other one? Greer? Even a Tally into 3 like Tally and 3 X's. I think it could be pretty good. But right now, I think the obvious standouts have to be 9-Nub and Poe Dameron.
Oh yeah.
9-Nub pattern analyzer. They both see. This is really. There's only one downside of the T-70, and it's the fact that the black one title is unique. Right? Like.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things I want to talk about, comparing this just to its brother, right, the T-65 or its sister, that one shield makes a huge difference in games. Whenever I'm flying T-70s, like they're on the table usually one more turn than a T-65, and it's kind of crazy how one shield can really make a difference, and especially with mitigating crits a little bit earlier. Man, the T-70 chassis is just really good.
So you bring up an interesting point. So I've seen Rebel Rebel X-wings with healing droids. Marcel, you run healing droids on Wedge and whatnot, right? In your Alpha Strike list. We see healing droids on the Aether Sprites, the Delta Bs, which are basically the X-wings, right? But have you guys ever seen anybody healing with their T-70s?
Yes.
Is it only in like Poe and 9? Like,
Yeah. Actually, Onion. She told me not to talk about it because she's got a secret list. But I just heard her in the background go. But yes. I'm being threatened with no dinner. So
all right.
that's the same subject.
All right. I was going to say that I don't normally see these T-70s with healing droids because I think it's because of that fact that they start with the extra amount of health, so you don't need to worry as much about it. Because that means you have to take 4 damage. So it's not even 1 damage overall. It's actually 1 damage from being halved as well.
Yeah, and I think even before you even get to the healing droids, I mean, if you just look at like one has boost, one has barrel roll, but a T-70, an initiative 1 T-70 is at 45 points with like 7 health. The comparable T65, yeah. Let's say the the Cavern Angel Z-Lot. That's at 47 with a shield upgrade, basically to have also 4-3, 4 health, 4 hull, 3 shields. That's, I mean, it's 2 points difference. You're gonna say like big deal on those 2 points, but it kind of is a big deal on those 2 points. I mean, you get, and also the native boost. Some people like barrel roll better than boost. Some people like boost better than barrel roll. But either way,
So, I was going to say
it's not just a barrel roll. Like, I prefer the barrel roll over the boost, especially on lower initiative ships. But
that's what I was going to say. Is I actually like the focus linked barrel roll better on the T70 than the boost link or the focus linked boost on the X-wing.
Yeah, but also the other part is the bullseye.
Yes, that's what I was about to
It's
throw in there.
2 points less. It's 2 points cheaper than the T65 for the same health. And it gives you a bullseye. You still get, if you still line up your bullseye, you can still get the full 3 dice shot. So it's definitely, I would give it like maybe a 4-point swing in favor of the T70 over the T65 right now.
Very cool. I mean, yeah, there's a ton of pilots. We don't see them all right now. The ones that we're seeing out there is basically the Red Squadron, Jess Pava, Neon, and Poe. Sometimes Elo for flavor if somebody wants to do some shenanigans with Elo. But I mean, yeah, T70 chassis, really, really good. All right, now I want to start jumping into some lists. Now, before I start pulling those up, I want to emphasize that I'm in these lists. These aren't full built out with upgrades. A couple of them are from things that I've seen and pooled, but I'm looking at them more as archetypes when it comes to pilots. And we could talk about some things that are not here. Let's go ahead and start with probably something on the lower end of the power curve, and that's a Poe Rey archetype. And one of the things I want to talk about with this Poe is a combo that I think we're going to start seeing quite a bit, and that is Poe Dameron equipped with auto blasters with the marksmanship EPT. So Auto Blaster says it's a 2-die attack, range 1 to 2, and it says if the defender is in your bullseye, roll 1 additional die. During the neutralize results step, if you are not in the defender's firing arc, evade results cannot cancel crit results. Then the combo with that is taking marksmanship, which says if your defender is in the bullseye, you change one of your hits to crits. And of course, Poe is initiative 6, which means that if you're playing the ace game, a lot of times you're arc dodging. Maybe you're already behind somebody and chasing them down. Being able to have a higher chance of getting that bullseye because you're moving last if you're initiative 6 and people are lower than you. And then pairing that up with just there's a couple other things on that Poe. You got R4 Astromech with afterburners, setting them at 86 points. Then you got Rey with Leia, shield upgrade, make her a little more healthy there, and Finn in order to use that front arc. Any thoughts on this list?
I think you could drop pattern analyzer.
Yeah, there's a pattern analyzer on Poe. If you're going for that bid.
What? No, it's just because you should be triggering Leia.
True.
Yeah, and you should trade pattern analyzer for BB-8.
BB-8
I agree.
on Poe?
Yeah, because Leia can change Poe's say 4 forward or hard 3 into a blue maneuver.
No, that's not how that works.
What do you
I
mean?
don't think so.
BB-8 says before you execute a blue maneuver.
Execute a blue maneuver.
Yeah, it works.
After
Yeah, the argument was on Elo and trying to get a blue Talon roll.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. You're right.
That doesn't
work. All right, I'm good.
Okay,
Yeah, that works.
All right,
but the hard. So yeah, the hard 3 does work, which I think is very interesting.
yeah.
Which I think is critical because if you're playing this 2 ship lists, your biggest threat's going to be a bump. So yeah, you want to make sure you're not bumped. So I agree with Will, and I would even go a step further and put in the what is that called? The debris one that gives you the spare parts.
Spare parts.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a little bit of a bid, but at 191,
true.
honestly, at 191, you're not going to beat the ones who really want to bid. So you're still going to beat most people, and the ones that really want it are going to get it anyway because they're sitting down in the 180s.
I mean, if you're looking for a bid, wouldn't you just rip off Afterburners and just go in?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, yeah, if you're going for a bid, I would go there. But again, you still run in the the potential of getting your Poe blocked, and then now you got 0 actions. So you getting that extra trigger on BB-8, getting BB-8. I mean, not BB-8, getting BB to trigger 3 times.
Cool. Next list here that I want to pull up is a version of the 5 A-Wings. We know that the points went up, so this one has Lulo with Heroic, Greer with Heroic and Optics, Zari with Heroic and Optics, a Green Squadron Expert with Heroic and Optics, and a Blue Squadron Recruit with Heroic. I know one of the things I almost immediately look at is that green in there and saying, could I drop that to a blue and get some extra points to do some other shenanigans in there?
I'm thinking about dropping Lulu out of that.
Lulo, go. All right.
Well, just trade him to Tali, and you got enough points for optics on those last 2. So I think that's the strong suit. There's a lot of things you can do with the A-Wing, but the heroic advanced optics combination is so strong.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah.
All right, the next one here I want to talk about is the 4 T-70 squad we saw played to really good effect by Andy Myers in Seattle. Now, again, the points went down on this squad, and it's 3 Red Squadron experts with R4 Astromech, and then you have Jess Pava here with an R4 Astromech. Of course, you could change it up. How, Will, you were talking about in order to get that other charge. How would you do that, Will?
Oh, I don't know. Was he not running heroics on his Red Squadrons?
I think maybe he was. Sorry.
I'm running heroic, and then a droid that has charges for a Jess, and then whatever bid or whatever you got. I guess there's actually a couple options. You can put BB-8 on her and start boosting around. That'd be fun. But yeah, heroics and then charge droid for Jess.
Another option here for the Resistance, Poe Dameron and 3 A-Wings. Yay? Nay?
I think it's still good.
You got room for Heroic and Trick Shot. You got Lulo, Tally, Greer here. Poe is practically naked, just black 1 here. Again, I'm just mostly talking about archetypes, not ideal builds, okay? But yeah, so just another option there for the Resistance. And the last one I have here was a hilarious squad that we saw played in the inaugural Gold Squadron Flight Club by Steven Gonzalez. And there were all 4 of the Resistance pods. Yes, all 4 of them.
Nice.
Finn had Heroic, and then Chewbacca in the YT-1300 with Rey, Gunner, Shield Upgrade, and Rey's Millennium Falcon title. So if you're not familiar with Chewbacca, he says, after a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed, before that ship is removed, you may perform an action. Then you may Then you may perform a bonus attack. So we were jokingly calling this list the Tide Pods. Okay. Yeah, that was.
I don't get it.
The Tide Pods.
No, just go on.
You eat the Tide Pods and you die.
You may proceed.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was hilarious. I would definitely check out the video. It's on our YouTube channel. And these things, they, mind you, he had some pretty ridiculous dice on defense, but he had some cool ideas there. They joust better than you might think, especially with all their abilities next to each other, and of course, just Chewbacca covering them all is really good. Any other archetypes you guys want to talk about?
I think just Poe Nien plus anything else in general is I think it's a good archetype. I mean, you can put Poe Nien plus a transport, Poe Nien plus an A-wing, Poe Nien plus another T-70, lower initiative T-70. Just that whole, those three ships, well, those two ships plus anything else, I think, is automatically a good list.
Will?
Do you think we'll see it with that coordinating, like a coordinating third ship
I'm not allowed.
instead of Lulu anymore?
I'm not allowed to say anything else.
Okay, so it's a strong archetype in other factions, so it might work in this one. Okay.
I don't know who else uses 2 high initiative 5 and 6 ships to destroy things with the coordinator. Don't know anything about that.
Yeah, never seen that list before.
Yep.
Never heard of it.
Wedge, catch. Anyway. So, that's been, just a look here at the Resistance. Now, here's my question. I know this isn't, like the official rankings video, but how do we think the, do we think that the Resistance will be, we'll say, in the top half of competitive play here as the meta develops?
I think it'll be in the hyperspace top half.
Hyperspace top half?
Yeah, I think in the when you get to extended, yeah, I think it'll be right in the middle in extended. I've got to say, I don't know. I might be wrong, but I still see. I think it's Empire above it. I see Republic above it, and I think it'll like Empire and Republic will probably be at the top, and then Rebel and Resistance will probably be in that second tier down, in my opinion.
What do you think, Will?
Yeah, I mean, they have. I'll say this much about them: they have a lot more options than in competitive play than other factions do. I'm talking like.
I mean, let's just talk about like sequel factions, right? Do you think they have way more options than the First Order, which we haven't talked about yet? But
I mean,
right?
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure the First Order has the second list after Kylo ups.
Okay, so here's a little bit of advice for everyone listening. If you're going to Gen Con, if you're going to Nova, you're going to European Nationals, or anywhere where they're going to have top faction prizes, fly First Order, because you're going to win by just showing up. No, 32 people are not going to show up with First Order lists. Okay, so just by showing up, you're going to be top 32 default. You might even be top 16 just by showing up. All right, so yeah, what were you saying about the First Order?
They're not as good as the Resistance.
Period.
Yeah.
End of story.
You could have stopped your sentence at "they're not as good as."
Well, I mean, them and Scum got tough competition there at the bottom, but
I could throw my socks at them. I'll probably win.
oh, hold on. Well, I don't know. We might see some. I mean, I wouldn't count out all.
Okay,
them.
who would you put below them? I know we're kind of sidetracked.
Sorry. So, well,
That's all right.
you listed theirs off. I'll just give you my list. Yeah, Empire, Republic, Rebels, Resistance. I will agree with you there. And then CIS, Scum, First Order.
Scum is better than CIS. They got triple jumps, man. Come on.
Only an extended.
For now.
For now.
All right.
That's true. Oh, no.
Come back.
All right, so this has been our Resistance breakdown. We still got stuff to talk about. We're going to do our question of the week. But one thing I want to talk about is we got some new merch, all right? And we're talking about Resistance. So let's show some of this off. If you are for the Resistance and you're feeling heroic, all right, we got some swag for you here. We got some other things on the shop too. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. Those of you who are watching live are the first ones to see this. I haven't put it out anywhere yet. But some cool stuff there. There's also a Gold Squadron podcast themed orange shirt. If you like that. So you can get it in a sweater. There's women's sizes as well, all kinds of things in there. But you can go ahead and check it out. If you're feeling heroic, you know what to do. And if you get the shirt, take a picture and send it to me, please, because I want to see you guys rocking the swag. All right. Let's continue down our road here. So I want to take a second and say thank you to everybody who watched and played in the Gold Squadron Flight Club. It was amazing. So had a bunch of fun there. And if you haven't watched the replays, all of it's up there, including the main event. Lots of awesome games. I want to go ahead and hit the list of the week. List of the week comes. What's
William goes first.
William. Alrighty. People notice the Galaxy's Edge lightsaber on the shelf behind me.
Show it off. Ignite it.
It's not time.
Okay.
It's not the time. I have to keep them coming back. All right, so let me go ahead and read down. So the list comes from Hori Bat is his name, and he says, "I'd love the podcast. Some feedback on the following list. My daughter Katie loves the Resistance Bomber and the Resistance Transport, which she calls the Space Sofa. I put together a list featuring strong Resistance women that I think might be competitive. Pattern Analyzer lets Vinny focus while doing a hard stop to trajectory simulator and launch bombs, and Leia would let her do this twice in a row. Covanel's durable and can make use of her fantastic low-speed dial to make unexpected stops and reverses, and cover Vinny with a potential 3-dice attack. And finally, Tally is a flanker or bait. If she can avoid getting separated from Vinny and Kova, her ability might actually proc to increase those ships' defense. In addition to being thematic and making use of a new ship, I would hope that this list might be competitive. How would y'all tweak it to make it better?" So let me go ahead and take a look at the list here. All right. So the list is Vinny in the Star Fortress with Trajectory, Perceptive Co-Pilot, Seismic Charges, Pattern Analyzer, Veteran Turret Gunner, and Proton Bombs. Covanel with Leia Organa and R4 Astromech. And finishing the list with Tally with Heroic and Advanced Optics, sitting at 199 points. Will, you're up.
That's actually not bad. I like that. I like that quite a bit.
So here's to give you guys a window here. I want to set some parameters, right? Like we want to first. He was going for a theme for his daughter. He's looking for strong female representation in the list as much as possible, and of course, she sounds like Katie really likes the Space Sofa. So let's try to keep the Space Sofa at least. All right, go for it.
Yeah, the only thing I want to do is just bring the Perceptive Co-Pilot down to C-3PO. You still get 2 calculates, which when you're only adding a single blank, you don't really need a whole focus token. Plus, it can open it up to do some coordinating. But I'm not sure what to do with the extra 3 points, though. I wanted to get something else on Covanel here, but I'm 2 points shy of a Pattern Analyzer on it. So I guess I'm dropping Optics off of Tally? Yeah, I guess so. I just really think that you could get some use on a C-3PO. And Covanel needs Pattern Analyzer. I think that's really in the roundabout way. If you're doing... I guess not really. It depends on how often you're stopping with Vinny. I guess just that one time. I'd have to see on the table to figure out how many times you're actually stopping with Vinny. Because you can stop twice, right?
Yeah, stop. Or you can Leia stop, and then actual stop. And then you'd have
so
to
you
go
only
do-
really need it. You only really need it in the opening engagement. But then I guess if Covanil's, I guess that's a hard call. It's not bad how it is though. All of the upgrades make sense to me. I'm not quite. Yeah, I really like Talia as well. I think the A-Wing is necessary as the third ship because you need somebody else to proc that Vinian's ability. No, other than experimenting with trying to get C-3PO in there, maybe can you get C-3PO and Lulu? How much more is Lulu these days?
Expensive.
7 more points than Tali.
Yeah, you'd have to get rid of one of the pattern analyzers.
Advanced optics.
I think you could.
Yeah,
you
I was
could
gonna say you could go down to C-3PO and get advanced optics and have Lulu out there, and now that's some real bait. I think I like that better. Tali's fun, but like Lulu can win the game in the end.
All right. And
Which is out for myself.
Oh God. Yeah, this one's a little bit tough for me because it's actually very far
Oh,
removed.
Lulu is a boy though, isn't he?
yeah, but I mean, it's you changed one pilot.
Oh.
It's close.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I forgot Lulu's gender for a bit. I believed he was a woman. Anyway, let's continue myself.
All right. Yeah, I think. Yeah, this is a tough one for me because I like the list, and also I'm not a huge. This is very far removed from like my personal play style.
No autopilot drones. Is that the
Yeah,
problem?
you can't fit it in there. And I looked, and it's just like I keep scrolling up and down, and it just doesn't show up for some reason. Let me look for it now. But I think if anything, I would change on this one, and I'm looking for it, and I can't find it. There you are. It's really just switching out the Noden for Kova, and
What?
keeping Tally on there.
What? Kova is there.
No, Noden for Kova.
Oh, so you're switching to Noden.
Yeah, to Noden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, switching to Noden. What else?
Yeah, so basically putting pattern analyzer. Actually, you don't even need pattern analyzer on Noden because Noden already takes those actions. So here we go. We'll make it good. Here you go. So we're just going to tweak it for the sake of tweaking it, even though the one. So you got Coden with Larma Daisy.
Noden with Larma Daisy. Okay.
Yep. And you've got Corsella.
On Noden.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, you're getting rid of Leia. Larma Daisy, Corsella, and then an ion cannon. So you can get 3 dice out of that ship. All right, and then let's see, you got 7 points, and then on the gunner you would change that to Page Tycho, and basically giving you the ability to
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Page Tycho gunner on Vinny.
Okay, got it.
No, don't take that one off. The one that it had already. Veteran turret gunner and Page Tycho.
You can't do that.
Page.
They're both gunners.
It's got
You
2
have 2
gunner
gunners.
spots, sir.
Oh, it's right there. Oh my god.
Yeah. You can do both. Because Page. So
Like
after
you
you
turn the
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do
So
it
just-
before veteran turret gunner to make
Yeah,
sure
so
you're
basically you
guaranteed
can
that second
shoot,
shot.
and if for whatever reason you're not facing where you need to be facing, you can, and it's not an action, it's just rotate your arc. So even if you stopped, you can still do it. So basically what this is doing is it's giving you the ability to coordinate with Noden early because of the lower initiative. He can get a coordinate over to Venny, and then Venny can still stop and take a target lock and a focus. So basically, you can take target lock and focus. Noden still ends up with a focus because his ability allows him to basically take an action after he coordinates, shooting with 3 dice at ion cannon clearing all double or triple stress. And then with Vinny, you're shooting. After you shoot once, you can either drop a bomb behind you that turn, or you can just rotate if you're not in the right positioning to be able to take your second shot with veteran turret gunner. You can use page cycle to rotate that arc and get that second shot off as well. So that's and by the way, for those who don't know, page cycle actually works off both shots. So you can take your primary shot, shoot, and rotate your arc to get the second shot. And then after you take your second shot, you can rotate it back to where you wanted it originally, because you can still rotate it afterwards.
Crazy town. All right, that seems cool. I you know what? And I was looking at this, and Katie's my homie. Okay, Katie, we sent out some swag for her earlier this year, and another option, if let's say. If we're sticking to the theme, you could actually swap out Rey for Vinny in this list and have some options there. I'm not entirely sure how I'd build it out, but if you're trying to keep to the theme and maybe just look for something else, if you're trying to tweak, maybe swapping out Vinny for Rey. But yeah, great ideas, guys. I like it. All right, I just realized that the merch link didn't work. If you're looking for the merch, go ahead and go !merch in the chat, and the link will pop up. That just installed that this week. All righty, now we have our question of the day, or of the week, excuse me. Question of the week comes from Rowan3Last, and they ask, could you please explain the Naboo Starfighter's chassis ability? So they're asking about full throttle. Okay, so full throttle says after you execute a speed 3, 4, or 5 maneuver, you may perform an evade action. So I'll talk about some of the basic things that people usually get wrong or confused on. So fully execute. Fully execute just means that you are able to move the ship from one side of the template to another without hitting another ship when you land. It has nothing to do with, it doesn't matter about rocks or you could fly through other ships. It's just making sure that you start in one point and get to another. Now, the other thing with this is if you are stressed, full throttle doesn't work because it is an evade action, and you cannot perform any type of actions unless you have other cards that say you can while stressed. It is an extra action, an additional action. It does not count towards your one action per turn. I did say you could already do it over obstacles, and if except for debris, if you go through debris, you actually receive the stress before the evade action would trigger. Basically, before you finish executing the maneuver, the debris hits you, and the stress from the debris gets you, and then you would try to perform an evade action, but you can't. So hopefully that explains that. Alrighty. I mean, that's pretty simple there, guys, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
You recommend that you bring gas clouds if you're bringing
Yeah.
a ship with full throttle.
No punishment.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Alrighty, guys. So I want to take a second. We're in positive life choices land, okay? I will start first. I had a week of vacation, okay? And I definitely indulged a little bit more on food than I should have at Disneyland. But I was in, I was at Disneyland. I was having a good time. Yeah. So I will admit that I didn't eat as well. Now I didn't gorge myself or anything like that, but I ate a little more than I should have. I'm working on trying to adjust back to normal eating now. So that's really what I'm working on. I had a 5K. Now, I did tell you guys I had a 5K scheduled for last Saturday, but because of the heat wave that happened in Chicago on Saturday, it got canceled. But my wife did run a half marathon on Sunday and killed it. She did amazing. First half marathon for her. She did it 2 hours, 45 minutes. and she's just pumped about doing it again. She's like, where's the next one? When's the next race? She's excited about it. So going to be fully supporting her in that. But yeah. Oh, and the other thing I actually wanted to throw in here, which is kind of random but important. Somebody in the GFP community wanted me to give him a shout out here, which I have no problem doing this. Just a quick shout out to Levon Thomas. He's known as Trogdar4 on the Discord out of Ohio. And he's an X-Wing player out of Ohio. And he's pretty active in the Positive Life Choices group. And he was talking about how he was getting ready to do certain diets for after he was finishing after cancer surgery, and actually, unfortunately, they found out that his cancer spread to other parts of his body. So he's undergoing chemotherapy, and if you want to give towards his GoFundMe, he created one of those for himself. So if you're into giving for stuff like that, go ahead, check it out. Link will be in the description. But yeah, just wanted to give him a quick shout out, and cancer sucks, and yeah, you suck, cancer. If we could swear on this podcast, I would here, but not going to. Anyway, Positive Life Choices. How are things going?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a personal challenge coming up this weekend.
Ooh.
It sounds like we're heading to Madison for their trial.
Okay.
We were confused last week about whether you were going or up to Madison this weekend.
No, I'm not coming because it's my wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's fair, man. Hey, I mean, totally understandable.
Yeah. So on Saturday we're gonna go see Hamilton, and then on Sunday we're going up to the Renaissance Fair. So actually, I'll be in Wisconsin on Sunday, but not playing X-Wing.
All right. Well, me and Marcel are heading up. It sounds like, and I'm gonna try to go maybe not the whole day. That might be tough, but I'm gonna try to go the whole tournament without taking smoke breaks. It's a little. What do I say? Gotta make little goals.
That's
try
right.
to get to achieve the larger one.
That's right.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna give. What's the opposite of a shout out?
A beef.
Yeah, beef.
Got some beef.
I'm gonna give some beef out to give a beef out to Mitch. Stop giving me cigarettes,
Mitch. Quit it.
I will.
You son of a gun.
You know I'll ask you. But yeah. Well, it sounds like I'm. Yeah, we're gonna be heading up there. I have no idea when I'm gonna fly. So hit me up if you got fun suggestions. Otherwise, I'm stuck flying at like a TIE Swarm or something.
Stuck. I'm stuck playing this game. Man.
I want to fly hyenas. But in
Not
theory,
yet.
in theory, they look amazing. In playtesting, no, not so much.
Yeah, not quite yet.
No, their only good move is hard 3, and it doesn't clear stress. Or sorry, their only good move is hard 2, but that's super awkward. Even for me, who's been flying vultures forever, it's still super awkward. I don't know. There's potential there. We just got to find it. But no, I'm not gonna find it by Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So what are you flying Saturday?
I don't know. Probably Empire. I don't know. See, that's weird too. I want to bring this up, just a small side tangent. I already bought my ticket for the last chance qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So why do I need to win?
No,
the thing?
so you
Get
win
dice.
you win the thing to get the dice and guarantee it in, and then I play in the last chance qualifier, and you're just there
okay.
to
I won't
slay
be the
people
last
for
chance.
me.
Okay.
Like,
All right, that's
I brought
fair.
my
That's
boys.
fair.
Let's slay them. Let's get a world ticket, baby.
Well, because I'll be honest, like Worlds was never about like going and winning. It was going to hang out. I was just real sad to be like, oh, they're not going to let me go to the party. That sucks. Or sucks is a bad word. Don't use it. But now that they're just letting anybody into the party,
Anybody goes to the party.
I know it would be fun to win one. I don't think I've actually won a tournament this year. Marcel, have you won a tournament this year? Have any of us won a tournament this year?
No, the main one.
Negative.
Not a main official one. No, I've gotten
close.
Yeah, gotten close on a couple, but
top
not a main
tables.
official.
Top
Yeah,
fours.
the one that I would have won. Yeah,
Cough,
sometimes you need to
breathe.
Sometimes you need to step aside for. Oh well, salary.
Let it go, as they say.
Yeah.
All right, couple people were.
I'm reserving my win for XTC.
There you go. Get the dubs, baby.
Yeah.
All right,
Team
couple
USA.
people in the chat were asking about why don't you have this shirt? Why don't you have this? Okay, we'll go over them really quickly. Not everything is up yet, but we had the podcast, so I wanted to talk about it. So basically, we have Gold Squadron shirts in colors for every faction, and then we're coming out with
Wait.
What?
You didn't get my positive life choices.
Oh,
You
I'm
skipped
sorry.
me.
I thought it was about your tournament. I'm sorry. What are your positive life choices? Look at that. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Okay. Positive life choice is I flew 3 jump masters again, and it was brilliant. That's about it.
Is that it? Can I go? Can I go?
Yeah.
Can I go? Can I do my plug again? Can I transition now? Am I good? Can I go?
I don't know.
I'm doing it. All right.
Can you do it?
So we got Gold Squadron shirts in faction colors, and we're also coming out with the what's this faction identifiers for each one. So we got fearless, treacherous, heroic, and selfless out right now. Ones that are coming are ruthless, dedicated. What's the other one I'm missing? Ruthless, dedicated, and
Selfless.
No, selfless is there. That's right. It's there.
Yeah. Well, you need fanatical.
Fanatical. That's the other one. Yes. So.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
love for the First Order.
It's coming, man.
Man, you really, really don't like that faction, though.
Do you understand? Like, I'm doing one at a time. I'm sorry. Listen, look at you. See all the shirts I had to design, okay, man?
I'm just messing with you, dude. You had 6. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we got 10 total shirts in the shop, and now here's the thing. Yeah. So the other ones will be coming out probably, I would say, within a week. My hope is to get it all sorted before I start all this crazy traveling. And the reason we're going this route, so this is basically a service that we're going to be using. And I actually ordered a couple samples, and I'll be rocking them here pretty soon. And they completely take care of fulfillment for me. So when it comes to shipping and stuff like that, like when I'm in Poland, you guys, Dion, are you going to be able to have time to ship me a shirt? I don't have to do it. They do it for me. So it's pretty good. Yeah, if you have any questions or you want something maybe like, oh, Dion, I'd like to see this shirt in the shop, let me know. We can make it happen. Number Pink merch on the way. I had a design up there, but I trashed it because I started looking at it and be like, oh, these other ones are way better than it. But anyway, yeah. I need ideas for Number Pink merch. Anyway. But yeah, so the other faction identifiers are coming. Like literally, they're on my design / exporting computer. It's there. I just got to finish them up, make them look pretty for you guys. Am I forgetting anything? Any shout outs? Anything at all, gentlemen? No,
I don't think
Nothing.
so.
All right.
I mean, you're teasing the August schedule.
Oh my God, August. Okay, so there's Gen Con is the first week. Then that's followed by Gen Con. Is it Sacramento that's after that? No, Gen Con, Argentina. Then Sacramento, then Poland, then Australia, and then the Chicago Hyperspace Trial. Yeah. Dion, are you doing both prelim days at Gen Con? Yes. Yes.
Are you playing?
No.
When's the next time you're playing?
When the people don't need me anymore.
Are you playing at least Niles Hyperspace?
Yeah. No, I'll play at home. Yeah. Not home. You know what I mean? At pastimes.
Yeah.
We'll play there for sure.
I'm not gonna say.
What? Say it.
Well, you're going all the way to Poland. You should play.
But I'm not there. Listen, the people paid for me to go stream. They didn't pay for me to go play. I'm not gonna do that to them.
They paid for you to go stream and put the stream to the audience. Like, there's gonna be people out there. I'm gonna be out there. D's gonna be out there. Tyler. I mean, there's gonna be people to cover the day that you're playing.
No, that's.
It's not like you're gonna make the cut. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm teasing, man. No, but seriously.
All right, no, we're done. I'm shutting this off. We're done. I'm shutting it off.
Dion, I'll cover you in Niles.
All right,
Make sure you can play.
Okay, great. And then I'll just not make the cut there. Yeah. F for me. No, it's fine. I'm terrible. I'm the worst X-Wing player ever. All right. Man. Wrecked so hard. Anyway. Isofan says, you can play in Sacramento. No, man. I'm going to stream Sacramento. Anyway. Thank you everybody for watching. If you haven't hit your Prime button in the last 30 days, make sure to hit it. If you don't know how to do it, !Prime in the chat actually just made a new video with the updated Amazon because they changed it up again. So you guys go ahead and check that out. Link for that will be in the description. Thank you to all of our patrons who make all of this happen. You can go to patreon.com/Gold Squadron, get those awesome Ink series cards and coming overlay pretty cool thing cards. I don't know what did I call them? X-Wing art enhancers. You'll see it when it comes out. Replacement something. You'll see. Anyway, check out those new emotes if you're in the Twitch chat. Have some fun with those. I'm super excited for August, guys. Yeah, we'll see you guys around. My name's Dion Morales. For everybody here. They complained that I don't say it with them every time, and they missed it. I was gonna try to do the right thing. All right, we'll try it again.
I forgot you listened.
Yeah, I listened exactly. All right, for everybody here, my name's Dion Morales. I don't even know how to say I'm the ready, set, go. Gold Squadron out. The delay killed it. It was great. Anyway, bye everybody.